As always, we're going to start off with Colossians 3 and 17. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, for everything. For He's worthy to be praised for everything. Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. So everything that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. That's how we reach the Most High. And we give Him thanks for everything, for He's worthy to be praised for everything. We say Hallelujah, His holy name. Allow us to see us one more day closer to the kingdom. Allow us one more day to get it together, to get it right, so that we can be pleasing in His eyes. That's what it's all about. No more, no less. You're not pleasing His eyes, what's the point? You're just going through the motions. Most people are. Deuterinimy 29 and 9. We're going to start with today. It says, keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. So, as I told you in the previous lesson, Joshua 1 and 8, we can go there. So you keep the words of the Most High, you keep His laws, statutes, commandments, so you can prosper in all that we do. But all prosperity is not necessarily good prosperity. Look at Joshua 1 and 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. You see? So He's telling us, once He's given us these laws, and Joshua was able to lead us into the land of Canaan, which is the promised land, He gave us those words to Joshua. So going back to Deuteronomy 29 and 10. So you stand this day, all of you, before the Most High, your power. Your captains of your rulers, or your tribes, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel. So you see, we had captains, we had elders, we had officers, with all the men of Israel. Your little ones, our children, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Most High thy power, and into His oath which the Most High thy power maketh with thee this day. So let's establish something, because you see here it says, and thy strangers in verse 11, in this covenant that he's talking to all those, the little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. And he comes back and say that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Most High thy power, your power, and into His oath, which the Most High thy power, which is your power, maketh with thee, which is you, this day. So the covenant was given to who? We must establish it, because you look at, as I've said previously and many a times, you have strangers that are within our nation that we don't know, that's amongst us, but they still Israelites. You have strangers that are the other nations. Let's see who the covenant was given to, so you know without a shadow of a doubt it's only talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. Psalms 105 and 8. Psalms 105 and 8. He hath remembered His covenant, which is a contract or agreement, forever. The word which He commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant He made with Abraham, and His oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, that's the 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. So the covenant was only given to the 12 tribes of Israel. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 29 and verse 12. that thou should have entered into covenant, which is a contract or agreement with the Most High, thy power, your power. Come on now, you can't say this everybody's power, because he said it clearly. Look at Acts. Your power, who's our power? Acts 3:13. Acts 3:13. And I'm going to the New Testament because a lot of people say, oh, that's the Old Testament. So we're going to go to the New Testament and say, show you that the Most High don't change. Who's he the power of? Let's look. Acts 3:13. The power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob. The power of our fathers. See, it says thy father, which is thy is your. In the Old Testament means your. So he's our fathers. Power of our fathers. Which is the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, let's go back. Deuteronomy 29. Verse 13. That he may establish thee, or you, today, for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a power, as he hath said unto thee, which is you, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. There it is again. This is what the Most High say he is. I mean, he's the power of. So if you're not part of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then he's not your power. Look, this is what he said. Look at Exodus 3:15. And the Most High said, moreover, unto Moses, through the angel, that you read about in verse 2, he's talking to the angel, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Most High Yahweh, this is what it says in the Hebrew, of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever. That's why you hear me say it so many times. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Say, this is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So once he left, what did he tell? Moses tell the elders of Israel, elders of each tribe of Israel. What did he tell them? What did he tell them to tell them? Go and gather the elders of Israel together, verse 16, and say unto them, the Most High power Yahweh of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me. That's his name. Go tell him my name. That's what he's saying. Saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt. Like he's looking down and seeing what's done to us in this Egypt, in this captivity. So here we are now. Go back to Deuteronomy 29. Look at verse 14. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Most High our power, and also with him that is not here with us this day. See? For ye know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which ye passed by. And ye have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them. Lest there should be among you man or woman or family or tribe, whose heart turneth away this day from the Most High our power, to go and serve the gods of these nations. Lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart, imagination of my mind, to add drunkenness to thirst. The Most High will not spare him, but then the anger of the Most High and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him, and the Most High shall blot out his name from under heaven. See, the Most High ain't playing. So, how do you think him telling us, we're not supposed to deal with these other nations, because it tells you in Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. And he told us we didn't follow him, we're going to do just what we're doing now. Serve this wood and stone. As he scatters among all that. When you look at one scripture in Deuterinimy 28:64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all nations, all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there we scatter among these nations, thou shalt serve other gods, which is other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's what we're doing now. Christianity, all these different religions, and Allah, Buddha, and whatever your name else you can think of, whatever they come up with new, they're going to serve. We have served. We always serve something that's not the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when you look at so many condition that we're in, because of Daniel's 9 and 11. See, we're in the place where the law was given to us, and that's what we did. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. See, that's what happened to us unto this day. Going back to Deuteronomy 29. Verse 21. And the Most High shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the law. He'll separate him, put evil upon him. Remember, we told you in verse 20, the Most High will not spare him, but then the anger of the Most High and his jealousy shall smoke against that man. And all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. That's why these curses bring forth what? Verse 21, and the Most High shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel. You see this happening. It says, even to this day, it says, verse 22, so that the generation to come of your children that shall rise up after you, and the stranger that shall come from a far land, shall say, when they see the plagues of that land, and the sicknesses which the Most High have laid upon it, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone, and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nothing gonna grow there, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zebulun, which the Most High overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. You look at Israel right now, the real Israel, you see it's desolate. Ain't nothing growing there. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Most High done thus unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Most High of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. Can you imagine this? It's hard to conceive, but it's real, because the Most High was right there with us. You know, Mashiach was shot, giving us his law, saying, look, I chose you above all nations. All you got to do is just follow me. Follow my laws. Follow my rules and regulations. I'm going to set you above all nations. And we just read how Israel transgressed this law to be like these other people. And here we are now in the ghettos and slums, crying, we shall overcome, no justice, no peace, being shot down like we're nothing, and the verdict is not guilty. And that could happen anywhere. I mean, it could happen at any time, anyone. Nobody's extinct from this. None of us. You know, no matter how you think you so secluded and wherever you are, you're not extinct from this. I mean, the things that they plan and doing, and they're doing beyond your imagination, because some of you don't even know what's going on. Y'all look at whatever you can see that they put in front of you. They far advanced in what they put in front of your face, man. And just the fact that you're an Israelite makes you a threat. whether you realize it or not. So if you're scared, you don't need to be no Israelite. Most High don't give us a spirit of fear. Go on out there and do like the world doing. Or stand up like a man, gird up your loins like a man, and do this work. Do what's got to be done. Gathering the Israelite tribes back together again under the power of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. See when they see the land over there like it is now, it's terrible. It's desolate. Nothing growing there. Not what you see that these so-called Jewish people are presenting to the world. That's not the true Israel. Listen to what it say 25. Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Most High power of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods. They went and served other gods, other idols, as it is today, and worshiped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. See? I mean, we can't go, I mean, it's like, it might be like the same review over and over again, but you got to keep hearing it over and over again. Most I speak once, yet twice, man perceive it not, so you got to keep hearing it over again. We're in a different chapter, but he's still in the saying the same thing over and over again. Verse 27. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. The Most High rooted them out of their land in anger. See? He rooted us out of our land in anger. Not with no love, but in anger. Could you press star 6 so we can hear y'all conversation? Deuteronomy 29 and 28. And the Most High rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land as it is today. As it is this day. Here we are scattered among all these different people, and we scattered among these different people following what it is that they set up for us to follow. Except for this truth. They didn't set this up. It says, the secret things belong unto the Most High, our power. But those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. See? So the secret things are belong unto the Most High. And the Most High, he does some things with his secret things for those that are in tune with him. You look at it, look at what he does. Go to Amos the 3rd chapter and the 7th verse. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So, Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So, and when you understand that the servants are the children of Israel, so you know that it can't be any other nation. Go to Isaiah 44 and 1. It says, Isaiah 44 and 1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. See? Jump to verse 21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. See? So the Most High revealeth his secrets unto his servants who are Israelites, the prophets. Let's continue. Going to Deuteronomy 30th chapter, in the first verse. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, because it's times when we were blessed. It's times when we were doing right, we were blessed. We've seen the blessing. Like when King David ruled and when King Solomon ruled, and another king ruled, when we ruled almost, we were in blessed state for about 120 years. It says, and it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Most High thy power have driven thee. And there's no, we're going to be all among all these nations. You look at the blessing and the curses that will come upon us. It says, and shall return unto the Most High thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Most High thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Most High thy power have scattered thee. So this is where we are now, brothers and sisters, as Israelites. That's why we got to come back to his laws, statutes, commandments, obey him, obey his voice, and he's going to redeem us from this captivity that we're in. I mean, if you believe in him, he says he's not a man, he should lie. So that's why it's imperative that we look at these laws, come back to these laws, and don't deviate from what it is that you are doing and doing the law, which is good. The Most High is good. His law is good. You see? So that we could be delivered from the captivity that we're in now. It's our last captivity. This is what works. Listen to what works. The solution, you want to know a solution? This is a solution right here. You just heard him. He just said it. Let me read it to you again, because some of you might not have heard it, because you might not be listening well enough. Verse 2, it says, and shall return unto the Most High thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, all thy mind, with all thy spirit or soul. It says that then the Most High thy power, when we turn to his word, we turn to his laws, statutes, commandments, that then the Most High thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Most High thy power hath scattered thee. See? That's what he's getting ready to do. With those that sincerely coming back to his laws, statutes, commandments. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, or this earth, from thence will the Most High thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So when somebody telling you got to go to a certain area for redemption, that's a lie. You hear what he said? No matter where we are scattered among these nations, he said he's going to gather us. He's going to fetch us. Hear what he said? If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven. That's heaven is talking about the earth. Because power, rulership, and authority on this earth is heaven. So if we're amongst these other nations and they're heaven, that's what it says. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven on this earth, from thence will the Most High thy power, your power, our power, gather thee. And from this, wherever you are, will he fetch thee. He's going to gather us. And the Most High thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers, above the generations that lived before us. And the Most High thy power will circumcise thine heart. He will circumcise our mind. And the heart of thy seed, the mind of our children, to love the Most High thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live, who may live. And the Most High thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. You know? When we come back to the law, such commandments as we are doing as Hebrew Israelites, that's the 12 tribes of Israel, these curses are going to be put upon our enemies, as it is written. And the Most High thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So don't be concerned, because the Most High got his hand in this, and he's going to bring it forth. He's the one who's going to do this. Upon all our enemies, and upon them that hate us, and upon them that persecute us. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Most High, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And the Most High thy power, the Most High your power, will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand. You will have a lot. Rich beyond imagination. Because plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, that means the children, and in the fruit of thy cattle or livestock, and in the fruit of thy land, whatever crops we grow, for good. For the Most High will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. Hallelujah. See, if thou shalt hearken, listen unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Most High thy power with all thine heart, all thy mind, with all thy soul, for this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. So it's right near you. Nobody have any excuse. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven, and to bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. See, it's no excuse. That's right there. You ain't got to go to heaven to see it. It's just right here in this book. We can read it from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. You ain't got to go out into the vast sea that the Most High have created. 3/4 of the whole earth is the sea. You ain't got to go out there to find it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, is very near unto us, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See? In your mind and in your spirit, that you can do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day, this was set before us, I say it all the time, life and good, and death and evil. See, in that I command thee this day to love the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, his rules and regulations, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Most High thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But, condition, he's going to bless us, keep his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations, but this condition, if thine heart or your mind turn away, so that thou wilt not hear. You don't want to listen, you don't want to hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, as we see our people doing right now, and say, think it don't matter. Caesar Borgia, that's that one big demon that's set up everywhere. Our people just, like it doesn't matter. It do matter, because they set him up to represent a Mashiach Yahushua. He didn't die for the sins of Israel. He ain't died for himself. Ain't gonna homosexual, murderer. I mean, look on Showtime. You see what's up. Look up the Borgias on Showtime. They call them the first crime family, the ones that got set up as that Last Supper picture. 5 people, the Borgia family. Pope Alexander VI of Rome, Rodrigo Borgia. And his 2 sons, and his mother, and his sister Lucretia. Wicked. Wicked, wicked, wicked. So how you expect good to come to you when you sit up here with wickedness all around you? Now people say, oh, it don't matter. So I'm not going to take on something that I know that's wicked. I don't care who it is. Don't care who it belongs to. That's why you got to know what's righteous and follow what's righteous. That's why he said before you what? Life and good and death and evil. You choose which one you want. Because that everlasting life going to come with the goodness of the law and the Most High who is good. That's it. Verse 17. But if thine heart or your mind turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce it to you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death. See? You got a choice to choose life or death. That's it. Blessing and cursing. Which one you want? Life and death, or blessing or cursing? Brethren, therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Most High thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Point blank. You ain't of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, then he's not your power. Over and over again, you keep hearing the same thing. It is what it is. We can't deviate. We can't change it. We got to deal with it, just like we dealt with everything else that's been laid upon us as the children of Israel. Everyone that hear my voice, you got to deal with it. Read it and make it say something different, or mean something different. You can't. It's pretty self-explanatory. That's why I say when you read them laws, it's pretty self-explanatory. Unless you just really, don't understand words, then get yourself a dictionary and look up words. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Go to Isaiah 61 and 10. Isaiah 61 and 10. Let's book it right there. Isaiah 61 and 10. I will greatly rejoice in the Most High. While my shall shine, my soul shall be joyful in my power. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. Because the Most High said, hey, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. And it's happening right now. Regardless of how anyone want to look at us as Hebrew Israelites, as long as we're following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, prophesying what this word says, it ain't what you think. Because if it was the case, then everybody would know who they are. in what this Bible is talking about, and who we are as the 12 tribes of Israel. You see? And the Most High. And the Mashiach Yahushua. But we know you're not going to learn, you're not going to ever know who the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is, because it's written that you would not know our enemies and those that persecute us. You see? But you out there trying to teach them, that's a waste of time. We're supposed to be gathering the children of Israel. And then we'll immediately say, go here, what's our purpose? Go here in a minute, but then you out there gathering mainly the dang on heathens, the children of Esau and all the rest of the heathen nations. For what? It's a waste of time. It is a waste of time. Because they're not going to know the Most High. They ain't going to know a Mashiach Yahushua, so why waste your time? Isaiah 62 and 1. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace. See? For the children of Israel's sake. He said he's not going to hold his peace. Who is Zion? Isaiah 51 and 16. To show you who Zion is. He said, for Zion's sake I will not hold my peace. I'm not going to be quiet, he said. And I have put my words in thy mouth. And I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. Right? So you say, oh, well, Zion, my people, who's that talking about? You got to prove that. Go to Exodus 3:13. The Bible answers itself. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Exodus 3 and 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. So without a shadow of doubt, it says Zion represents who? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. So, going back to Isaiah 62 and 1, say, for Zion's sake, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, who we are, will I not hold my peace. He said, I ain't going to be quiet. And for Jerusalem's sake, representing the 12 tribes of Israel again, I will not rest until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as the lamp that burneth. See, that's what he said. He's bringing this about now, as we can see, those that have eyes to see. We the 12 tribes of Israel, here's always talking about repent. Come back. You repent from what? From sinning. What is sin? The transgression of the law. So you repent and you come back to the law, such commandments of the Most High. You have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Listen. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua shall name. See, they're going to see this righteousness. They're going to understand it. They're going to, most likely, going to make sure that what he's saying here, they're going to really understand. It says, thou shalt also be a crown of glory. That's powers and authority, or the glory of the kingdom in the hand of the Most High, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy power. You see? That's royalty, which is power, rules from authority. Say, thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate. And you look over there, it's desolate. The Most High gonna make it grow. Everything turn into a beautiful land again. But thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah. For the Most High delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. See? He's going to marry himself to the land and make it beautiful again. Because he made it desolate. It's desolate. If you look at it, it's nothing there. Nothing. And it's like, almost like it is in Sodom and Gomorrah, like he said he's going to do. It's just like that. Nothing's growing there. Whereas a young man marrieth a virgin, so men supposed to be marrying virgins, that's what we done. So shall thy sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom, which is the husband, rejoices over the bride, the husband rejoices over his bride, so shall thy power, Most High Power, Yahweh, rejoice over thee. He will rejoice over us. As the bridegroom rejoices over his newly virgin bride. Say, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, those that are looking out for us, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Most High, keep not silent. Say, we that make mention of the Most High Yahweh, keep not silent. So we say, why are they out there? Why are they out there prophesying? Why are they doing this? Why are they all the time in somebody's face? He said, keep not silent. Don't keep silent about this. He says, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And that's what we see us doing. It says, the Most High has sworn by his right hand of Mashiach Yahushua, and by the arm of his strength of Mashiach Yahushua. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of the stranger shall not drink thy wine, for the which thou hast labored. See, we're not gonna be commerce. Whatever we grow ourselves as they grow for us, we're gonna be able to enjoy it. That's what he's saying. We're gonna be able to grow our corn, have it grown, just like they had us grow theirs. They're gonna be growing ours, and we're gonna enjoy it. Like he's saying, for the which thou hast labored. It says, but they that have gathered it shall eat it. See, and praise the Most High, and they that have bought it together shall drink it in the courts of my holiness. See, all through the power of the Most High. It's the kingdom. It said, go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the people, cast up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up a standard for the people. Lift up a standard, just this Bible first and foremost, and a standard of we, the 12 tribes of Israel, coming back together as one stick. But first we got to come back to this Bible. That's the standard. We got to come back to the Most High's word. It said, behold, the Most High have proclaimed unto the end of the world. Here we are. We're the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Hear that? Our salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. It's all here, people. It's right here. Revelation 22 and 12. I mean, a lot of these precepts you've already gotten, unless there's someone that's new on the line, but a lot of you should already pretty much know these. It says, Revelation 22 and 12, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. See, that's the last book of the Bible. So he says his reward is with him, as he's going to give to every man as his work. That's what you have done in these mortal bodies. Shall be. It says, verse 12 of Isaiah 62. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua. And thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken. See, we're going to be called sought out, a city not forsaken. This is going to be forever and ever and ever. That's why verse 4 says what? Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah, for the Most High delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. See, Isaiah 63 and 1. That's like restoring the Israelites back to the land for the last time through the power of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? It's very important you look at this, because he said, who is this that cometh from Edom? With dyed garments from Basra. Basra was the capital city of the Edomites. This that is glorious in its apparel. Glorious in its apparel. So, I don't understand how you could think that Mashiach Yahushua was walking around in burlap or, not looking good. It tell you he's going to be glorious in his apparel. His clothes going to be looking glorious. Beautiful. Traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak righteousness, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Mashiach Yahushua. That's why you look at, he's coming mighty to save. How he's coming mighty to save? How he going to save us? Look at Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, pure, righteous power. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness. See? He does what? Just like I'm going to bring forth righteousness. He does judge and make war. See? Let's go back. Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Verse 1. With dyed garments from Basra. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. How you going to save us in righteousness? By judging and making war. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why is your clothes, even though it's glorious apparel, why is his clothes red? And thy garment like him that treadeth in the wine fat, like somebody stomping on grapes. Ask the question, why? I have trodden the wine press alone, and the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Right? Go back to Revelations, the 19th chapter, excuse me. The 19th chapter. Revelation 19. Since we know in verse 11 he said he's coming to judge and make war, let's continue from there. Jump up to verse 12. Revelation 19:12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, because he's angry, and on his head were many crowns, as power and authority. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. You see? So we reading about why his vesture, his garment, they say vesture here, but that's still the garment, his clothes, was dipped in blood. And whose blood gonna be on it? We're gonna find out. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, pure righteousness, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. See? So, going back to Isaiah 63, in verse 3, it says, I have trodden the wine press alone. Remember, it's like they're saying, they're giving an analysis of somebody stomping in grapes, and all the grape juice is going on his garment, because it's all red. They asked him, why is your clothes all red? And of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. See, who was redeemed? The 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you, of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what we just read about it. Now it's going to show you, now he's showing you how it's going to happen in prophecy. Verse 5. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me. In my fury it upheld me. See that? The Most High's own arm of Mashiach Yahushua brought salvation unto me. Verse 7. I will mention the loving kindnesses. Excuse me. Verse 6. And I will tread down the people. So let you know in mine anger. So you let you know it's a people that he's going to tread down in his anger. And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. What people? Verse 63. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Giving you a clear indication who he's talking about. The Edomites. Because when you read the scriptures, go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. It says, for Esau, who's the forefather of the Edomites, is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this is his redeemed, who is Jacob, being set up. This is how it's going to be set up. Because Esau will be the superpower of earth when he come on the earth, as they are now. So I challenge you to say, who's going to take them down? People talking about the Arabs. I'm hearing in my hearing that people are saying that the Arabs are the Edomites. Get out of here. Arabs, you ask an Arab, he knows his forefather Ishmael. Anything to have you be destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. Isaiah 63 and 8. For he said, surely they are my people, children. Now verse 7. So like it. Let me read about verse 6. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Over and over again, you look at the prophecy of the end of the world, all the prophecies prophesied. And the prophets prophesied against it. Even they prophesy against it. They tell you. Look at, this is what they give you. They say, Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgment. And they tell us to see, notably, Isaiah 34, 5, and 6, of what we just read in Isaiah 63. So, we're going to read verse 7. We'll go to verse 9. It says, I will mention the loving kindnesses of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, and the praises of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, according to all that the Most High have bestowed on us, and the great goodness toward the house of Israel.